Hi, I'm Frankie. I started with Amnesty International and Orkney Friends of Palestine when I was 14, so over a decade ago now. And despite leaving Orkney and living in Glasgow, every time I come home, I still like to take the time to show my support for Palestine and those in Orkney who share the same support and same opinions and feelings that I do. And yeah, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, and I support the people of Gaza and Palestine.
Okay, so my name's Sarah. I went to see The Voice of Hind Rajab a few weeks ago, was deeply impacted by that. Very, very moved, and so I decided to get involved with Amnesty, Orkney, and I heard about the vigils here. I'd been aware of them, I've not been able to get to them before, but I decided that I would come along and see what it was all about, so I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you everyone for coming out today. We've got a gorgeous sunny day and a lot happening on the street, so it's wonderful that we're here, flying the flags and showing our presence. Now, this week, Fiona in the Orkney News has written a very moving article about Dr Hussam Abu Safiya, who some of you may remember is a pediatrician and was a hospital director in Gaza. He would not leave his patients and his staff, even though he was ordered to evacuate the hospital. And when the hospital was finally in a state of total destruction, and the Israeli forces had shot and killed his teenage son in the hospital, he finally had to leave. And there's an iconic picture of him walking through the rubble towards an Israeli tank. And he was then arrested and taken to Israel. Since then, he's been tortured and held in very severe conditions. And when he appealed against his detention, the court and the Israeli forces have now put him into solitary confinement. Now, Amnesty International has adopted his case as a priority case, and there is an online petition that people can sign to demand his release. He's done nothing wrong apart from try to serve as a doctor for the children and patients in his care. So we need to try to get as many people as possible to sign that petition and to bring attention to his case.
And what is his name again?
Hussam Abu Safiya. And I can send out the link to the petition so you can have that.
Right.
This week also was Parents' Day, apparently, in the world, which was news to me. I know about Mother's Day and Father's Day, but Parents' Day. So sadly, we have our faces posters. We have posters of children that have been killed in Gaza. And I keep thinking, the parents of all these children, 22,000 or so of them that have been killed, what sort of Parents' Day are they having? So it just breaks your heart, really. But this week is a positive event because this week is Volunteers Week in the UK. And I would just like to thank all of you for volunteering your time to come along today to our vigil and to show solidarity with the Palestinians who are suffering so much in Gaza and in the West Bank and in the refugee camps in Lebanon now that have been ordered to, evacuate. Hundreds and hundreds of people are still being killed, so there is no real ceasefire. So just two events coming up. in Refugee Week, which is week after next, the Phoenix Cinema is going to be showing the film Everybody to Kenmure Street. And it's a film set in Pollokshields in Glasgow. And it's about community activism that people just got together to try to stop the deportation of refugees in Glasgow. And it's a very heartwarming film. And we're grateful to the Phoenix to show it during Refugee Week. There's going to be a matinee showing on the 17th and an evening showing on the 18th. And then following that, also in Refugee Week, Amnesty International and Orkney Friends of Palestine are having their annual Refugee Week lunch. So that's on the Sunday, the 21st, in the St. Magnus Center. It's free. People can come along to have a bowl of soup, some cheese and bread and biscuits. And we will be taking donations for the 2 charities that Orkney Friends of Palestine are supporting this year. That's the Shufat Refugee Camp Disabled Children's Center and Hope and Play, which supports children in Gaza. And every single child in Gaza is in need of support at the moment. So it's a very good cause. So thank you, everybody. We've got some new faces with us today. Thank you so much for coming. Spread the word about our events that are coming up. And we will be back again next week at 1 o'clock on Saturday to again show our solidarity. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. Great.